Hi kids, it's Pimmy. Are you ready for some more coloring? I know I am. Let's see what we color today. I got the Incredible Hulk. So we're gonna get started with him right away. Are you coloring with me today? I think today I'm gonna color my coloring with colored pencils. And I'm gonna start by coloring in the Hulk's body. So I need a green color because I like that the Hulk is green. So I want to keep using that one with him. Let's use this one. This one is called pine green. So it is a green color, but it's a special shade of green so that it resembles the needles on a pine tree. And it looks like it's just a little bit darker than normal green. If you want to do that with a green color and you don't have a darker one like this, you can mix colors. And when you mix colors, you get new colors or different shades of colors. And you can make all kinds of colors if you want to. You could add a little bit of black to your green and make it a little darker. You could add a little bit of white to your green and make your green a little lighter. The more you add to your green, the more you change its color. And remember, where do we color at? We color on paper. Only on paper. And we always try to stay in our lines. Just like that. Now I gotta color in his whole face. Get around his mouth. And then we'll get his nose. And his forehead. There we go. And now I gotta get the Hulk's feet. Just like this. And remember, if you go outside your lines, that's okay. We can just try to do better next time. It's not a big deal. That's how we get better at everything, is we make mistakes and we keep on trying. And when you keep trying, you keep getting better. That's called practicing. Practice makes perfect. So we gotta practice a lot. And I'm gonna make his fingernails and his toenails a little bit darker. And when you're using colored pencils, if you're really careful, you can just use a small amount of pressure that's a little harder than what it was before, and you make your green just a little bit darker. Or you can just keep coloring the same spot lightly, and eventually it gets darker too. There are lots of ways you can do it. Remember when I said you could add some black? You can do that too. There are lots of ways to do it. You just have to be creative and choose which ones you like doing the most. Sometimes I like to mix colors, and sometimes I just like to use other little efforts, because there are so many choices and they all work out very well. It just depends what you want to do. Now let's color in the Hulk's eyes and his hair and his eyebrows. First, let's write down which one we used. We've used our green color, and this one was pine green. So that gets spelled P-I-N-E. That's pine, and then we need a space here for a new word, G-R-E-N, pine green. It's two words together to make one. And I made two different colors of green on our Hulk. I want to make his arm a little darker. I feel like doing lots of colors today, apparently. And that's okay, because when you color, you get to do whatever you want with it. But we used 1 and 2 greens because we made the ones darker on his fingernails and toenails. Toenails here and fingernails up here. So that's 2 colors of green, just like that. Let's count the Hulk's toes since we had all his toenails. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 toes on the Hulk's 1, 2 feet. So on the Hulk's 2 feet, he had 10 toes. Now let's color in the Hulk's hair and eyebrows. And I'm gonna use my black colored pencil for that. Just like this. Try to stay in my lines and on my paper. Just like that. And because this is the inside of his pants, I'm going to very lightly color this one with the black pencil. And where the zipper on the pants is, and down over here where this is frayed, we'll do just a little bit of black here too. I don't want to color it all, just a little bit. That way when we color in his pants, these parts will be just a little darker. Like I was saying you can when you mix colors. We'll do that there with those spots. So that gives us black. B-L-A-C-K. And we used it in 2 ways again. So we have 2 black colors. And when we count 2s, to make sure we always count 2 when we count 2s, we can count them like this. You can count this spot and this spot. So you can count 1, 2. And then you can go to their black one, and we can count the same spots here and here. So when we count both of them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Let's make his pants a fun color. What's a fun, silly color that we could use with his pants that would look good with the color green? I know. I'm gonna use orange. I think that will look really neat. So I'm gonna color in his whole pants orange this time. Just like this. Stay in my lines and color them all in. And when we get down to these spots that we made black a little bit, I'm gonna make those orange too. See how when we color in these spots and the orange goes with that black, how it makes the black look orange and the orange look darker than it did before? But because we're not changing the color of the orange we're using by adding more pressure to it like we did before with the green, we're gonna still count it as one color when we count it later. Because it was how we used our black color in two ways that made our orange color look like we did it different. There we go. I think that looks really good. I just need to get these spots down here orange on the edge of his pants. There we go. So that gave us one orange color. O R A N G E. Orange. Just like the fruit. Do you like oranges? I know I sure like oranges. They're one of my favorites. And they give us vitamin C, which helps keep us from getting sick. Now we're going to color in all these lines in the background. And I want to use some new colors. So the first one I grabbed is this one. And they named this one Orchid. It looks like orchid is a shade of purple. Look at that. And let's use 3 colors. And since I'm going to use 3 colors, we're going to skip 2 spots. So every third line is going to be the orchid color. So when I do that, we go 1, which is orchid, and then we go 1, 2 empty ones, and then 1 orchid, and 1, 2 empty ones, and 1 orchid, 1, 2 empty ones, and 1 orchid. And we'll do that all the way around. And because it gets tricky to color some of these, we can turn it and color it in. And 1, 2, and again. 1, 2, and again. Can you count these ones for me? It's orchid on that one. Or is it orchid on this one? Oh, it's orchid on this one. So let's make this one our orchid color. And 1, 2, orchid. You know what that sounds like? Is a game called Duck, Duck, Goose. Have you ever played Duck, Duck, Goose? It's kind of like a game of tag. One, two, orchid. 1, 2, orchid. Oh, look. We are only going to have one spot here between these two. So we're going to have to do something different when we get to that one on our way back around. That gives us 1 orchid. O R C H I D. Orchid. And did you know that orchid is a name for a flower? Now we're gonna use this blue color, which is called cerulean. And cerulean is a shade of blue. It's just a really nice one. I like this one a whole lot. Now I'm just gonna go around all the way and color in next to all these orchid ones with a light coloring of my cerulean. And if you want to, you could even grab another color right now. Let's just do that. What's this one? I don't want to use silver. I don't think it will fit very well. Let's choose a nude one. What else? What else? I know. Maybe I don't. We can choose so many colors, and you can change your mind as many times as you want when you pick colors, because it's all up to you how you do your colors. You can make them all however you want every time. Let's use this one. This one is called mahogany. Mahogany is a shade of red. It's a dark red, almost like bricks. See? And you can change your colored pencils as you go through it if you want to. Instead of doing one color at a time, you can do lots of colors. So then I need the one on the left side to be our mahogany, and the one in the middle to be our cerulean. And the one on the right side of the orchid is the cerulean, and the one in the middle of these two is mahogany. And then the left side of this orchid and to the left side of our mahogany, like that, because this way is left. Every time I go that way is left. Every time I go this way is to the right. So when we move to the right, we go with our cerulean. And then when we move to the right of our cerulean, we use our mahogany. And then to the right of our mahogany is the one we colored in with our orchid. And then we need our cerulean again. And when things repeat themselves like this is, where you go in the same order, one after another, that is called a pattern. And I like patterns. Do you like patterns? Or do you like to make it all kinds of different ones with no patterns and to do it your own way? Both ways work out great. It just depends on how you want to color things in. Because coloring is about us having a fun time. But while we're having fun, we can still do our counting and we can still do our colors, because both things can be fun together. Now we have this one and our one spot, but we have one spot, but we should do two colors. So what I'm gonna do is color it in a diagonal way, like that, where I make this side all connected in blue, and then we'll make some long portions that are just a little wider. That way, I can use my mahogany and color in the rest of it and make it overlap just a little bit and mix together. And then we still have our pattern. We just have a new little way of coloring in that one space with our two colors. And then we've used two new colors. We need to write those down. That's one cerulean, C-E-R-U-L, and if you forget, you can look right there and it tells you. E-A-N, cerulean. That's a long word. And that's a color that's a shade of blue. And this one is one mahogany. M-A-H-O-G-A-N-Y. Mahogany. That one is a shade of red. And that's a really long one too. But if you forget, because they're long, they write down their colors right there on all of them. They do it on your markers and your crayons too. Now let's count them all up. Remember how we count the twos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 colors. C-O-L-O-R-S. Colors. And if you want to figure out how you can add them, you can do 2 plus 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can do 4 plus 1 equals 4, 5. And then we need this one. So we take our 5 and we go 5 plus 1 equals 6. And then we need this one. Let's make it the right color so that it's easier to know where we are. So we can take our 6 plus 1 equals 7. And then we can take our 7 for our mahogany color. 7 plus our 1 mahogany color equals 8. And that's how we make sure we can do it all right. You can add them up, and then you can count them up, and they should come to the same number. And that's how you know you did it right, because you checked it. Now we're all done coloring for this time. So we finished coloring our incredible Hulk. We used 8 colors today, and we counted up all 10 toes. He also had 10 toenails, and if you want, you can even count his 10 fingers. We also learned some new colors, and we did shades of colors. We also did some adding, and we counted them all up and checked to make sure we did it all right. We did a lot today. So until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe down below.